Did you know that there are hidden costs inside of real estate investing? Most of us understand that real estate is a great wealth building tool, but we have to be aware that there are additional costs that come with owning real estate property. Today, let's run through those things. Hi, my name is Zach, and I want to walk through some of the unforeseen hidden costs that come with owning real estate property. The great thing is there are calculators and tools to easily figure these things out without having to use pencil and paper. Some things to be aware of would be taxes, property management, fees for garbage, sewage, if there's issues to the home, legal fees. All of these little things start to add up over time and can really eat into your profit. The key is to make sure you're successful upon purchasing a property, which is why we say in the industry, you make your money when you buy. That way, when you run into these hidden costs, you have enough cash flow to weather the storm. The great thing is that PropertyReach has made it very easy to look at your numbers before you purchase. So let's look at this calculator together and see if we can figure out how to weather the storm when there are hidden costs. So here we are inside of PropertyReach. There's a great section called Tools up here at the top. That's a new section that we can click into to look at the numbers we need for owning rental property. There's a mortgage calculator, debt to income calculator, rental income, basic wholesaling, and a fix and flip calculator. We want the rental income calculator. This will help us to weather the storm when it comes to hidden real estate costs. Now, the first thing we have is the purchase price. Let's assume we're buying a property that's worth $300,000. The next step is to enter down payment. Typically on an investment property, you're putting down 20%. I know what a down payment is because there's this nifty question mark beside each category that tells you what it is. Down payment is an initial payment made when buying a home. So it's usually 20% for investment property. The interest rate is going to be about 7%. This will vary depending on when you're watching this video. The loan term is typically 30 years on a home that is going to be an investment property. For rental income each month, I'm just going to put in $2,000. Now, typically when you're a landlord, you will increase the rent each month. So I'm going to be a bit conservative here. I don't know what the market's going to do. So a conservative number I'm going to choose will be 3%. Another good number to use would be 5%. Other rental income, this would be things like laundry, storage, parking fees. We're going to leave that at 0. And then the vacancy rate. The vacancy rate is the percentage of available units in a rental property that are vacant or unoccupied at a particular time. This is really the percentage of time that property is vacant. Some people use 20%, some use 15%. I'm going to use 10% of the time the home is vacant. So roughly a month out of the year. This is why I like this. I would say a month out of the year that home is vacant because it's a year lease. So I like 10%. Now on the right, we've got appreciation. This is the increase in value of the property over time. It's usually expressed as a percentage. I like 3%. Again, this will change on your market. You can actually Google what the appreciation is in your market and hopefully find this number. Property tax. So property tax, you have to pay taxes on the property that you own to either your county, city, state. You have a different set of taxes here. So what mortgage loan officers like to use is a percentage to determine an average for property tax. So you would take $300,000 times 1.14%. So that's 1.14%. If I do that times 300,000, I get 3,420. I can do the same thing for home insurance. So home insurance, I use a different percentage, which is 0.32 percentage points. So I would do 300,000 times 0.32%, and that gives me $960 for the year. I then have 0 HOA dues and 0 utilities. These are usually paid by the tenant. And then other operating expenses, I'll put 0. A lot of the times what you would do is just save money from your income into an emergency fund. And you can count that as another expense if you wanted to, but it's up to you. And what's neat is on the right side, I can see total return over 30 years, 20, 10, or 5 years. What's the percentage in gross yield, the cap rate, annual return, but I want to ignore that. What I really want to see is if I'm weathering the storm from hidden real estate costs, I want to look at cash flow. You get this nifty table that shows you cash flow, the mortgage, principal, everything over each year of ownership. And in this table, what I can look for is the cash flow. So I can see how much I'm cash flowing, or in this case, not cash flowing. And so this is the important piece on to me, is this cash flow. But all of these figures are actually very useful to an investor. But I know I'm going to be losing money. So I've got to change something in here. I would probably go back and renegotiate the purchase price, see if that changes anything. Okay, cash flow is now positive. This can then tell me, if I change it some more, what price point can I actually get to. We'll just go in the middle. And all right, so this is about break even, just about. So I know I really can't go over 275 in purchase price to make some money each month in cash flow. So this is a very useful calculator. You can play with all of these numbers. You may increase the rent. You may put down more money. You may try to get your interest rate lower. This is a great tool to see if you're going to be profitable and how much money you'll have to weather the storm if something happens, like your roof goes out or you have a plumbing issue. I love this tool. I think you should get in here and play with it. Tells you everything you need to know on whether a property is viable or not to become a long-term rental. So get in here and check it out. If you've got any questions, definitely put it down in the comments of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.